Okay, now this is that phase on Beyond the Plate, the show with Chef Amrita Raichand and me, Hrishi K, where we go into our respective festivals. Before I start this week's episode, let me tell you that next week is Pongal, the Pongal special episode where I will be hand-holding Amrita for the first time ever. But this week I have to concede. You can't take the Punjab out of the girl. What is this? I'd like you to say the saying. It sounds much better when you say it.
No, I thought you will make fun of me by saying you can take a girl out of Punjab but cannot take Punjab out of the girl, right?
Indeed. It's a Lohri festival. All I know about Lohri is sitting around a bonfire and consuming copious amounts of beverages. I shall not elaborate on the kind of beverages.
Yeah, please don't.
And of course, eating lots of great Punjabi food. But beyond that, you shall take us through the cultural, religious and food context.
I have to tell you, Hrishi, as much as I celebrate all festivals with aplomb, and you'll see me beautifully dressed for your Pongal also next week. But you know, when it comes to Punjabi festivals, whether they're religious or not, I kind of get really nostalgic. And no matter who's around me, Punjabi or not again, I make sure that they join the festivities. So you please get ready, because today I'm going to teach you a Punjabi Gidda, I'll teach you the song, and I'll teach you some lovely Bhangra moves.
Okay, my two left feet better be ready. But I have to say this. Punjabis, perhaps Italians can come a close second. Punjabis and perhaps Italians are the only two species of people who have such amazing joie de vivre.
Yeah.
Such amazing passion for life. The finer things in life, whether it's food, partying. And like they say, it's very difficult to find a sad, morose Punjabi.
Yeah.
Most of them are very happy, most of them are bustling and spreading light outside their own circle.
Yes.
Which I think is really remarkable. So I think the right word, the phrase would be the joie de vivre in the community. Lots of them are garrulous, like to speak a lot. Some of them don't speak that much but still radiate that energy. Never a dull moment when you're around a Punjabi.
Also, never a small moment when you're around a Punjabi, because they have such big hearts. You know, you see that in the langar seva also that we do. Where Punjabis, by and large, are I think I can easily say, the most big-hearted people. But let's talk about Lohri today. Let me enlighten you a little about the festival. It is the celebration of the Harvest Festival of Punjab and surrounding regions. In fact, I must tell you, Hrishi, it's a great time to visit Punjab at this time. It's around the corner, so you still have time. Now, the reason why Lohri is so big in this region is because almost the entire population is mainly into agriculture and farming. And hence, this festival is a tribute to all the hard toil put in by the farmers, and is a celebration of their industry and their culture with great exuberance. It also coincides, like we've already spoken about, this festival also coincides with Pongal and Makar Sankranti, which we'll cover next week. They all thank the Almighty for abundance on earth. Now, according to the regional calendar, Lohri falls on the last day of the Posh month. This is the coolest month of the year and is celebrated at the beginning of Uttarayan, which is the time when the sun starts moving north from the south. Now, Lohri is truly a fine example of a community festival. Like you said, what you remember and what you think of Lohri is the bonfire. Literally the entire neighborhood or the village will gather around a bonfire which is lit in the, at sunset. The dolls will go off and the hands will go up and everybody just starts dancing to to the Punjabi music. And the other significant part is the bonfire is not just lit for the light and the warmth. Actually, offerings are made to it. Offerings like puffed rice, popcorn, gachak. We're going to talk more about all of that as we go forward. But all of this is tossed in the fire, and the thought behind it is that people think that the flames of the bonfire will carry the message and the prayers of the people, thanking the Lord, and also to give them an abundance harvest and more prosperity going forward. In fact, I have to share this with you. My mom used to make us chant this funny thing. If you literally understand the meaning, it is quite funny. When we used to go around the fire, the line is, Jinne mere til jale, onne mere paap sade, which means as many sesame seeds burn, in the fire, that many mistakes or sins of yours, you literally burn off. So it's a nice way of kind of thinking that, okay, do all the mistakes, make them all, and then just, through this tradition, through this ritual, you'll be forgiven. It doesn't happen that way. Secondly, what I want to tell you about is the folklore. Very sweet folklore, in fact, very endearing, which is why apparently the whole festival of Lohri started. And this, interestingly, happens to be around Dulla Bhatti, who was a Muslim bandit, believe it or not, and lived during the era of Mughal Emperor Akbar. Now, he was considered a Punjabi bandit at the time. And what he did was, he used to save Hindu maidens who used to get caught as in the war and was sold as slaves. So what he did was, he used to take the avatar of being their godfather and get them married. He used to just light a fire and sing songs, and that's how the Lohri bonfire actually started getting celebrated. In fact, till today, the songs are very popular, and they all surround around Dulla Bhatti, Sundari and Mundari, these two supposedly, the two maidens who he also rescued, besides many others. And now I'm going to teach you that song. Well, you're going to just join me in it.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just do the light bulb move.
Yeah.
And I will do a
Yes, actually that's a perfect thing for you to do. So shall we start?
And I know you have a singing voice, so you do a great job.
Actually, I don't have, but
let's do it now.
Sundaram Mundariye. Okay, we'll start again. That sounded more like a Tamil phrase than Punjabi. Make it sound like a.
You can take the man out of Tamil Nadu.
Oho. It has to be oho. Okay. So Sundar Mundariye, Tera kaun vichara, Dulla Bhatti wala, Dule di veer vyai, Sera shakkar pai, Kudi da lal pataka. Oh, well, this goes on, and I'll quickly translate this for you. Basically, it means, oh, you pretty lass, who is your protector? So they say it's Dulla from the village Bhatti. Dulla is getting the girl married as his daughter, and he's given her 1 kg sugar and a red salwar kameez as a present for her wedding.
This is amazing.
Sweet, huh?
Listen, doesn't the word Lohri also originate from jaggery or til or sesame?
Yes.
Yeah, take me through that.
In fact, it used to be known as tilhori earlier. So til means sesame, and jaggery, as we all know, is gur. And now popularly we just call it Lohri. And it signifies the fact that both these ingredients are so healthy for you. They kind of cleanse your body, and they help in prosperity in the new year. I'm going to quickly tell you the benefits of sesame. I think everybody would like to know that. Sesame seeds are a very good source of plant protein, great source of calcium, keeps the body warm, and also helps in reducing inflammation. Jaggery, a super healthy substitute for sugar, and in fact in Punjab mostly people use jaggery only, even in their chai and other food that they consume on a day-to-day basis. Again, it really provides energy, and this jaggery is used to make all the popular Lohri dishes like gachak, kheer, panjiri, chikki, revi. All of this is made with jaggery. What is it meant to do? It's meant to provide energy for all the hard labor required for working on the farms. So there's a nice little story behind even the name, if you can see. So til and gur, like I said, helps to cleanse the body, brings renewed energy for New Year, and that's why foods made with them are not only eaten but also offered to the bonfire as a way of paying gratitude to nature.
The Ask Amrita section comes up at the end of the show. It's 9833943943. 9833943943. Ask questions on food, recipes, anything you feel, anything you've heard about on the show. Also suggest themes that we can talk about. Also pop in your name along with the question, and Amrita will answer every single question that is taken up. The show comes to you Mondays 8:15 a.m. to 9 a.m. 94.3 on the FM band on radio Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore and Chennai. On Wednesdays you find it on the Radio 1 International YouTube channel in its entirety in video form. There is a recipe of the week that Amrita films in her home kitchen studio, which is up at 94.3 Radio 1 India on Instagram, as well as at Amrita Raichand. And of course, Chef and Beyond is her YouTube channel where you get lots of long format. So please go check that out. What is the recipe of the day, and what aspect of Lohri does it recognize and celebrate?
So before I get to the recipe of the day, I want to tell you that some of the traditional dishes that are made during Lohri also have a very distinct ritual as well as dietary significance. Now, for example, sarson ka saag. We've spoken about sarson ka saag. The recipe is there on my YouTube channel. This is consumed a day after Lohri. So according to the Punjabi calendar, they say Po Riddhi Mag Khaddi, meaning Po, which means that food, which is sag, is supposed to be prepared in the month of Po and eaten the day after, which is the month of Mag. Now, Lohri is also a great occasion to actually create and make recipes that have been passed down through generations. So therefore, my recipe of the day today is going to be exactly that. I'm going to be sharing the recipe of Punjabi Pinni, and I can very easily declare here on radio that by just listening to it, there is no way you will be able to make it. So please do make that effort to watch it on my YouTube channel, because this is a superb recipe. It's become a new favorite of my son. This recipe was handed down to my mother from her mother and perhaps from her mother, and it was a real treat watching them make this. I used to, when I was in a boarding school in Sanar, Lawrence School Sanar, dabbas used to come of these pinnis, and Rishi, before I would open them, they would just vanish away. Also, during my pregnancy, I cannot tell you the number of pinnis I've eaten. I must share this really sweet story before I actually give you the recipe. My mom fed me all these laddus, these pinnis, and then when my baby was born, he was a really small looking child. Okay, he was a small baby. So in Punjabi, the first thing she tells me, "Enna vadda tid te chua jiha bacha paida kita." That means you had such a big stomach and you produce a little rat out of that stomach. So I never forget those hilarious words of hers. But let me tell you, those pinnis did really help me and made my bones really strong. So here's the recipe. Now this recipe is made with whole wheat flour and not the one with which you make rotis. This is a little mota atta. If you tell your general store, your kirana wala, they'll give you that flour. Little bit of chana dal goes in this. Chana dal has to be first overnight soaked, then ground to a fine paste and cooked in ghee till it becomes nice and golden and nutty, and the rawness of it goes. A lot of people add gond also to it, which is supposed to be again very good for bones, but my traditional way of making this pinni is with chana dal, again a great addition of protein, so I'm going to stick to that. Then of course lots of nuts goes in. There's almonds, there are cashews, and the smart way of doing it is by giving it a quick grind in your mixer grinder. So what you want is, you want a portion of it to become a powder, so it kind of mixes with the rest of the flour, and some of them remains as that the bite that you really enjoy every time you bite into these pinnis. There's of course jaggery powder. A lot of people just use white sugar, but my mom always used mostly jaggery powder and a little bit of white sugar. Then there's dry ginger powder. Now this is what really adds that amazing flavor, that distinct classic flavor to these pinnis. And there's a lot of ghee, and ghee is very healthy, especially when used in these pinnis. So all you have to do is, after you cook the chanas out, all of this is then prepared in another kadai. You get the right consistency, and then just as it cools down a little, you shape them into pinnis. Like I said, you will need to watch the video of this if you're really interested in making this. So I urge you to do it.
Okay.
You won't complain.
Fantastic. Now for the Ask Amrita section. Hi Amrita, food like sarson ka saag, makke di roti, goond ke laddu, dry fruits, healthy to be consumed in winters. A lot of people agree. Do you think living in Mumbai and considering Mumbai's dynamic climate, one should consume these in Mumbai during the winter? So this is by Rachit. So what Rachit basically is saying that, stuff like sarson ka saag, makke di roti is something he easily eats in the north in the winters.
Yep.
But it's not that cold in Mumbai.
Right.
Would you advise him eating them, or would you give him substitutes?
So, first of all, he's heard a lot of our winter episodes that we've spoken about. So, firstly, Rachit, this show is also aired all over the country. So, we are also referring and talking with people who live in really cold climates. Apart from that, in Mumbai, the weather definitely has changed in winter also, right? It's not as hot as it is in summer. Yeah. Of course, you should not. This year
especially, there's a nip in the air.
Yeah, there is a nice nip in the air. So, obviously, we don't overeat them, but we must indulge in all of this. Anything that's seasonal is something worth indulging in, and it only will do you good. No harm. That's my guarantee.
Hi Amrita, my orthopedic always suggests that I become vegan or turn vegan. And the example given to me is Virat Kohli, the Indian star batsman, who is vegan. But I've come from a family who's grown up eating non-vegetarian food and hence can't cut out non-veg from my diet. And despite intermittent fasting, I'm unable to lose weight. Please suggest a better diet for me to lose weight, but still eating non-vegetarian food. This is Rachna.
Rachna, I'm also a non-vegetarian, and I can promise you that when you eat non-vegetarian food, it is in fact, to my mind, easier to lose weight, because the advantage of having non-veg is that it kind of keeps you full longer. In fact, the days I'm vegetarian, like Thursdays, I don't eat non-veg. I actually feel hungrier. Absolutely no disregard to people who are vegans and who are vegetarians. There is a lot of plant-based protein as well, but it's also about what your body and what your mind is used to. So if you've been a non-vegetarian all along, like me, I cannot give up on that. It's about how you eat it, how you supplement it with vegetables. I promise you, if you only eat a nice grilled chicken or a grilled fish at night with a nice bowl of salad on the side or some sauteed vegetables, you will feel definitely fuller as compared to if you have 2 chapatis, dal and sabzi. That's my take. But of course, finally, talk to your doctor, your whoever you consult with, and take that call.
Beyond the Plate with Chef Amrita Raichand and Hrishi K shall be back next week with a focus on Pongal. A happy Pongal episode. Very, very happy Lohri to everybody who's listening, and to you, Amrita, and your family.
Thank you so much. Wish you the very same.
94.3 Radio 1.